Besides, we female clergy deal differently with all those problem passages in the scriptures, like the bit in Leviticus. No, not that bit. I'm talking about the math student who asked me the other day about the passage that says he is allowed no contact with a woman while she is in her period of menstrual uncleanness. The problem is, he says, how can I tell? I've tried asking, but most women take offense. Look, it says in Leviticus that I may not approach the altar of God if I have a defect in my eyesight. I've worn glasses since I was a teenager. Isn't there any wiggle room? Oh, and about that other Leviticus thing, since you asked. The one that Christians get their knickers in a twist about. Next time they ask your opinion as a Jew, and therefore, of course, an authority on Leviticus, just tell them it was written by lesbians for lesbians. You shall not lie with a man as you lie with a woman. The L word meets Leviticus. The ultimate lesbian affirmation text in the Torah. Oh, it all looks different through our eyes. Now, back to that divine lactress, in case you thought I had strayed away from the debate's topic for a moment. You would never have thought of calling her the god of the mountains if you had grown up in England. Our hills are breasted hills. In Wales, we even call them such. Bron Rhyw, home on a hilltop. Literally, breasted place. I'm an authority on that because I have one Welsh grandmother about 16 generations back. You know, the place on the family tree where you have about 256 Buddhas and Zetas? Bubbas and Zetas. But that one counts. That one counts. I must admit, I haven't thought that much about El Shaddai, whether she's the breasted one or the god of the mountains, since I moved to Illinois this summer. God is kind of flat-chested here in this landscape. The divine lactress. Someone once said, actually I think it was me, that the scriptures are like a car seatbelt designed by people without breasts for people without breasts. I used to agree, until I began to find out that it really had a lot to do with translators and interpreters. You know, the kind of translators who translate that phrase in Deuteronomy that can only mean the God who gave you birth. The Hebrew is specifically about labor pains. And they wrote it in English as the God who fathered you. Maybe Freud was right after all. I'm hoping some Hebrew scholar out there will back me up on this. You know, I can say these things at Rockefeller and stand 12 feet above contradiction. If you've seen that pulpit, you'll know what I mean. This is the God who gave birth to the snow and the hoarfrost. No, not that kind of hoarfrost, excuse me. We're talking about the book of Job. Some respect for the holy writings, please. Isn't it funny that people are so scared of God as feminine or the feminine as God? It's all rooted in those taboos about female bodies, yes, lactating and more. The 15th century Dominicans, Jakob Sprenger and Heinrich Kramer, gave us one version of all this with imaginations running riot. Women, they said, sometimes collect male organs in great numbers, as many as 20 and 30 members together, and put them in a bird's nest or shut them up in a box where they make movements of themselves like living members and eat oats and corn. I'm not making this stuff up. This is why they never let women be priests and rabbis until pretty recently. Psychoanalysts have a word for it: hysteria. Literally, the fear of a wandering uterus. Today, of course, we understand gynecology, and we have some clue as to what male fears of castration are about. Freud's statement notwithstanding, in the case of Dora, I will simply claim for myself the rights of the gynecologist. What is it with these guys who tremble at the thought of God with breasts? Are they lactose intolerant or something? Of course, we also now know that men should never have been allowed to run away with religious leadership roles. It's very clear in the book of Genesis that they are created solely from dirt. Adam was only the first draft. And it's obvious to have a man at the bema might distract a woman from her prayers. And besides, they look silly in dresses like this. What foolishness. If it wasn't already obvious, I hope that you're now seeing how critically important it is that you get this stuff about the divine lactose. It's milk and potatoes. Of course, once God is female, we'll have 8 female Supreme Court justices and 1 man, and no one will think to comment. Hillary or Michelle or both will have run away with the presidency. Oh my goddess! Lactresses on the Supreme Court and in the Oval Office. There'll be a whole new meaning to your Yiddish mama. You do need it more than ever now. It's your mama lotion for a reason. Vote the lactress. The new L word. What was that other thing? Latke-Hamantash pocket. I'm not sure about this pocket thing, but the ham, definitely not kosher. Especially not with all this milk around. The divine lactress is it. Come and taste of her.